Right at that moment, the dragon came running back in, and he said,
"Oops, I forgot my wallet."
Right then, the trolls looked at each other and said, "Perfect! Perfect!" They raised their hands and they said, "Get in that kitchen, dragon!
Get in that kitchen, dragon!
Then they had one more group of people to find. Lance said, "We need some waiters."
We need some waiters.
Jack said, "What about the fairies and the mermaids?"
What about the fairies and the mermaids?
Perfect!
Perfect.
The two of them ran around the corner to go get those fairies and mermaids.
Yes! Yes!
They were really scared. They stood against the wall, and the trolls raised their hands and the girls brought out their waiting towels. The trolls then said, "Everybody works for us now."
Everyone works for us now.
He turned around and he said, "One more thing to do.
One more thing to do.
We leave."
We leave.
And they did just that. They didn't want anybody to know that this was a troll establishment. Well, meanwhile, back at Hag Castle, 3 haglets came running into their throne room, complaining and whining and griping. And they said, "I'm hungry!
I'm hungry!
We didn't eat lunch!"
We didn't eat lunch!
The wizard said, "Why didn't you eat lunch?"
Why did you eat lunch?
He said, "The trolls didn't bring us our lunch."
The trolls didn't bring us our lunch.
They said, "The trolls have been gone for a week."
The trolls have been gone for a week.
Agatha said, "That is very strange.
That is very strange.
We're still hungry."
We're still hungry.
Danny said, "Why don't we try that new restaurant?"
How about we try that new restaurant?
Good plan.
Good plan.
So the 5 of them headed off to that new restaurant. When they arrived, they were greeted by the noble, honest, and trustworthy knights. They were greeted by the noble knights.
Oops.
The knights said, "How many in your party?"
How many in your party?
So they showed them all to their seats. And then the waitresses, of course, came and took their orders. Taylor went to this table, and she said, "What would you like?"
What would you like? What do you have? Just a regular hamburger and sodas. I would like my hamburger medium. No,
We don't cook our burgers medium, just well done.
we don't cook our burgers medium. Just well done.
The fire gets very hot.
Okay. Would you like fries with that? I would like fries.
So the 3 waitresses went and turned in their orders to the kitchen. Well, Agatha noticed something very strange about this restaurant. She looked at all the employees who were sitting or standing, and they all looked very scared. She said, "Everybody here looks very anxious, don't you think?"
Everybody here looks very anxious, don't you think?
He said, "I do think
I do think
something strange is going on."
something strange is going on.
He talked to a girl who was down cleaning the floor.
Excuse me, ma'am.
She looked around to make sure there were no trolls looking. "What is it?
What is it?
Why is everyone so anxious?"
Why is everyone so anxious?
She said, "Ask the cook."
Ask the cook.
So they called for the cook.
Cook! Why is everybody so scared?
He looked around for trolls, and he leaned in, and he said, "It's the trolls.
It's the trolls.
We're under their spell.
We're under their spell.
They're forcing us to work here."
They're forcing us to work here.
Agatha said, "I don't like that."
I don't like that.
So she went straight to the fairies and asked them what they needed.
What do you need? We need our magic back. Okay, done.
And she handed them 2 magic wands. Next was the mermaids.
And mermaids?
They said, turn.
Superpowers? Superpowers. Done.
She presented him with a superpowered cake. And he was feeling quite powerful. Just then, they heard a noise outside. I think it's the trolls.
I think it's the trolls.
Everybody be quiet.
Everybody be quiet.
And it was the trolls. They came lumbering back in and said, "Why is everybody standing around?
Why is everyone standing around?
One of the knights responded,
We just wanted to talk to you about that. 1, 2, 3.
The trolls were caught completely off guard. First the mermaids left.
We will be leaving now. It's gone. Us too.
In the night,
Going back to our castle now.
and finally, the dragon. Oh, those poor trolls. They just fell over and cried. The haglets did not like it. Why are you crying?
Why are you crying?
Jack turned around and he said, "This was always my dream.
Always my dream.
My dream is crushed. I just want to open up a restaurant."
I just want to open up a restaurant.
I'll take it. And so the three haglets said, "You'll never open up a restaurant.
You'll never open up a restaurant.
You're pathetic."
You're pathetic.
The wizard stood up. He said, "I don't like the sound of that.
I don't like the sound of that.
These trolls had good intentions."
These trolls had good intentions.
Hagatha said, "I agree."
I agree.
And the haglet said, "They can't open up a restaurant.
They can't open up a restaurant.
There's nobody to work in it."
There's nobody to work in it.
Hagatha said, "I'm not so sure about that."
I'm not so sure about that.
She walked over, patted each of them sweetly on the head, and said, "You can work here.